Hey everybody, today I want to talk about the higher level review process and what that looks like for the veteran. A little bit of background, if you disagreed with the decision the VA made before February 2019, you could file what's known as a Notice of Disagreement within 1 year of the rating decision and either appeal it to the Board of Veterans' Appeals or ask for a decision review officer to take another look at it. But in 2019, that all changed. In 2019, Congress said, we're going to scrap that Notice of Disagreement process, and instead, you now have 3 options to appeal. The first one is a supplemental claim, and that is if you have new evidence that you want to submit as part of the claim, you could submit it. The second option was a higher level review, which is a review by a more seasoned VA employee to take another look at your file from the get-go. And the third is an appeal to the Board of Veterans' Appeals. Like I said, I'm going to talk about the higher level review process. So the higher level review process looks like this. As I said, you have 1 year from the date of a rating decision to appeal a claim you disagree with, right? And you file this higher level review on a 20-0996 form, which I'll link in the description of this video. And on that, you say when the rating decision was, and you make a quick note about what you disagree with. From there, it goes to the VA, and it gets reviewed by what's called a decision review officer. Now, you can actually request what's called an informal conference with this decision review officer where you can kind of talk about the issues. But again, you can't introduce new evidence. The higher level review is purely for errors that you think were made in the process itself. So here's what happens after that decision review officer takes a look at your file. They can either grant whatever you're asking for, they can deny what you're asking for and just uphold the previous decision, or they can determine that there's been an error in the duty to assist, or a DTA error if you're in the know and you speak the language. When there's a DTA error, they actually send it back to the VA for more work. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a second. But regardless of what happens, either of those 3 outcomes, the VA is going to issue a rating decision. Now, if it's a denial, you have 2 options. You can either file a supplemental claim or a Board of Veterans' Appeals appeal within 1 year, of course, for either of those. You cannot file another higher level review. Now, what happens if there's a duty to assist error? If there's a duty to assist error, the VA decision review officer has determined that somewhere along the line there's been an error in the process. Maybe they made a decision before they got all the records back. Maybe the claim and pension exam was faulty. I find that a lot is actually an issue. It is a bad claim and pension exam. Any number of things can happen, and what the decision review officer is going to do is he or she is actually going to send the entire file back to the VA for more work. Now, what will happen is that you'll get a rating decision saying, dear veteran, there's been a duty to assist error and we're sending your file back to the VA for more work. And the higher level review will end there. But what will happen, or what should happen, is that they'll basically open up a supplemental claim for you as the VA develops new evidence. And the reason I'm calling it a supplemental claim is at this point you can add new evidence, or the VA is looking to add new evidence, whether that be additional records that they need to get, or if it's a new exam that they need to get, whatever, what have you. So you'll actually see that your claim will close and then another one will reopen a couple weeks later. If one doesn't reopen within a couple weeks, you need to call the VA because there may be a glitch. That's happened recently in 2022. We saw some of those. So in this duty to assist error, your file gets moved over to the supplemental claim lane, as some of us like to say, and they develop new evidence. You can actually submit more evidence yourself at this point if you have it. They maybe will order new exams, whatever. You'll get another decision once that entire process is over. And that decision may grant, may grant or deny your claim again, or give you that higher rating again. Now, just because this happens does not mean that they will get the effective date correct or what have you, or if they deny it, they may deny it outright again. They may commit another error. It happens. Now, if this happens after duty to assist error, and they've gone and worked up your case all over again, you can actually file another higher level review. And this is something that a lot of veterans don't know, I've found, is that let's say you do a higher level review, they find a duty to assist error, and then they go back and develop for more evidence, and they deny it again. You can file another higher level review. And after that higher level review, they might find another duty to assist error. And they may work it up again and make another mistake and deny it again. And you can file another one after that. Now, you can't file a higher level review right after a higher level review, but if there's been something else in between, like that supplemental claim, you can file another higher level review. The other time you can't file a higher level review is after a Board of Veterans Appeals decision. And I'll talk all about the Board of Veterans Appeals decision in another video. But what I like to do is when I send in a higher level review, I like to send in a written statement that is not introducing new evidence, but rather pointing out the errors, the legal errors, the technical errors, the evidence that they overlooked that's in the claims file that we found, kind of like a bit of advocacy. And I like to also schedule that informal conference because I have found that sometimes talking to this VA employee can help clarify some issues, and we can kind of discuss the case, point out some issues that may help them, see your case in a different light. All right. Sometimes it's just good to talk to somebody. So anyway, I hope that answers your questions on the higher level review process, when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate, is really going to be a function of your particular case and your particular facts. I can't tell you to file a higher level review on a denial or not. Sometimes it's a function of there not being enough evidence, and that at that point it's not a higher level review necessarily that's going to make the most sense. So with that said, it's a good idea to take a look at the claims file, take a look at the evidence that they have, and really discuss with your VSO or your attorney, is the higher level review the right appeal option for me? Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned. Share this video. Stay tuned for more content. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the questions or comment section below. We love making new video and love sourcing content from the veterans who may be looking for the information. But if you've been denied in the last year a claim or for benefits and you want us to take a look at it, do reach out. We've got our contact information also in the description of this video. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.